Man, as I said, this is a swell fucking buffet thing we've got going on. I hope nothing horrible happens. And I hope Maho's not too mad about what I yelled about during the seminar. Hey there guys, my name is Nix and welcome back to Steins Gate 0. Last time, well, we basically saw what kind of timeline we were in. We didn't save Kurisu, and now I have to live with that. As well as some anxiety medication, apparently. Anyway, we attended the seminar, read by what I'm assuming is a Russian man and his Japanese assistant, Maho. I still don't know what Maho's going to sound like for the rest of this story, but I'll get there eventually. Either that or she'll just be forever changing. Oh yeah, and Moeka's here. Because, you know, I would definitely wanted to see her today. Anyway, it was thanks to Izaki that I was able to get into the reception held after the ATF was over. They told me there was a dress code, so I went all the way back to my parents' house to get a suit to change into. And at first, all the effort paid off, as Izaki introduced me into some of the country's top researchers. Riken, JAXA, IMSS, etc. Oh, I was gonna say, JAXA's the Japanese NASA, right? Oh god, I'm being texted. Not long after Izaki ran off to suck up to some university professor, I was left completely abandoned. Never mind, I have my phone to talk to. Oh Christ, it's Daru. I can't believe you got invited to a fancy party. Die in a fire, Mr. Fancy Pants. You know, you could have helped too. All the food here looks so good. There's nobody to talk to and I'm bored. I mean... Oh, you know, okay, you know what, fuck it, I'll taunt Daru. All the food here looks so good. Bring me back a doggy bag. Hell no, I can't do that! You can do what you want if you set your mind to it. There's no limit but the vast blue sky. I can come get it right now if you want me to. Are you that hungry? Fine, okay, I'll get you something. But I refuse! Wait a minute, why do we have a thing of fucking Amame? Is she still here? I thought, oh wait, well, to be fair, she couldn't go back to the 2036 like she said she could, so. My own personal target, Dr. Leskinen, was surrounded by a bunch of famous scientists. I didn't feel like a mere student would be welcome. And so all I did was stand around and eat from the buffet by the wall. To be honest, I couldn't tell if the food was any good or not. Whenever my glass got empty, a smiling waiter was always around to fill it up again, so I found myself drinking more than I intended. My stomach was already so full it hurt. The whole place felt like it was another world. I'm not cut out for this. The exact moment I spoke, I heard a girl next to me say the exact same thing. Surprised, I looked over at her. Our eyes met. Oh. You. What was a middle school girl doing here? And then a moment later I realized it was Maho Hirsho. She was wearing the exact same outfit she'd been wearing during the lecture. A lab coat in a place like this? That's just what the old me would have done. Let me see. Maho was clearly out of place. Why? Because she was still wearing her lab coat. Why are you wearing a lab coat? I couldn't help but ask. I wasn't sure I brought in some real clothes. She was sure she had, but she hadn't. And that's why she was standing in the corner, trying not to attract attention. You're the guy who was at the desk this afternoon. I'm Okabe Rintaro. I'm a student at Tokyo Denki University in Professor Izaki's class. I handed her one of the business cards that I'd thrown together after Izaki told me I needed them. She grabbed one out of her own stack and carelessly put it in my hands. It's fine, no need to be so polite. That was a huge help. My name's pretty rare, isn't it? Oh, yeah. You said no one could read it. I looked at the card and saw that the pronunciation of her name was written in unusually large letters. That's probably because of how people kept screwing it up.
It's a common name in Okinawa, though.
You're from Okinawa?
My great-grandmother and great-grandfather were immigrants. I was born and raised in America.
Half. No, you don't look Japanese. Quarter Japanese?
Nope. My grandma, grandpa, and mom and dad were all Japanese. My DNA is purely Japanese.
Huh. And then the conversation stopped. I'm terrible conversationalist, honestly. The old me would have gone full Tunabio and started ranting about conspiracies and magic powers, whether the other person cared or not. But you can't really call that a conversation. I had no idea what to say to someone I'd never met before. My batteries are falling off of the desk. I've been working at becoming a real adult, even buying and studying men's magazines, but none of it really helped. Without anything to talk about, I looked over to Dr. Leskinen. He seemed to be giving a lecture on neurons to a bunch of scientists. Ugh, scientists. I'm sorry about today.
Huh? Sorry for what?
Oh, interrupting your lecture.
Oh, that. Don't worry about it. If you hadn't spoken up, I probably would have. I can't stand people like that.
You sure that would have been a good idea? You heard what the professor said. A scientist should remain calm at all times.
I'm not speaking as a scientist right now, so it's fine.
I must have really ticked her off because she grabbed a cocktail from a passing waiter and gulped it down. Her cheeks turned a pretty shade of pink for an instant, but no longer. She might have had a high alcohol tolerance.
But you're right, really. Sorry. Criticisms like that, they aren't very nice, but they're true. A lot of our research still has a long way to go.
Really?
There are a lot of problems we still have to deal with. More than we discussed at the lecture. Here's an example. We can write memory data back into the brain, but if the brain can't use it, then it's useless. The memories are there, but you can't get to them. It's basically the same as amnesia.
As Maho spoke, I remembered. I remembered all the lectures and theories that Kurisu had given me when she was making the time leap machine. If I remember right, when people try to access their memories, the signal goes from the frontal lobe to the temporal lobe, right?
Yep. Top-down memory search signals.
So then... And then I started to talk, remembering what Kurisu had told me about her theories as I went. When I used specialized terminology, whose meanings I barely remembered, Maho would tell me what they were. And so finally, in the process of writing these memories back into the temporal lobes... if you send the pseudo-pulse you copied along with them to the front lobes, the memory search signal will function properly. I think.
Did you figure that out yourself?
What? No. Maho looked back at the business card I'd given her.
Your major is in brain science. So someone told you this? Or did you read it in a paper? No, that's impossible. She wouldn't have put it into paper yet.
Did I say something wrong?
No, that's not it. One of the researchers at the lab said the exact same thing. None of the other staff believed her. But she said she was sure she could prove it.
We're both talking about Kurisu. Let's not be coy.
In the end, she left us before she got to the test stage.
That's... Should I tell her? Should I tell her about me and Kurisu? In this world line, there's almost no connection between me and Kurisu.
What is it?
I made up my mind. If I wanted to follow my dreams, I need to act. Actually, it was Kurisu who told me about this theory.
What? What did you just say?
Makise Kurisu told me about it.
Kurisu told you? When? Why?
When she was over here as an exchange student, we became friends and she talked to me about this stuff. Of course, that was a lie. Kurisu and I became friends on the Alpha World line, not this one. But a small lie like this was probably okay.
I see. So Kurisu... Thank you. I mean it.
Her words surprised me. That was the one thing I didn't expect to hear. For what?
Being her friend. She came to Japan all alone. I mean, I'm sure she would only be bored studying all by herself.
All we ever did was fight, though.
That sounds like her. She never gave in, did she?
Never. She'd argue for hours. She'd tell me all the time about how she was going to give me a lobotomy and rip out my frontal lobe.
What? She wouldn't. I could see Kurisu saying that.
Right? You need to discipline your researchers better.
I admit that much. Sorry.
Huh? She smiled, or so I thought, and then all of a sudden she started to cry. What's wrong? I didn't have any better ideas, so I grabbed my handkerchief. Huh?
Huh?
She didn't seem to know why she was crying herself. Neither did I. Had I said something during the conversation that set her off? You mentioned the K word. We're not meant to talk about her. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry.
She didn't take my handkerchief. Instead, she took a tissue out of her pocket and wiped her eyes. Wait, you do speak Japanese? Shit, my brave third Einstein!
Huh?
What? I turned around and saw Dr. Leskinen smiling and quickly striding toward me. He grabbed my hand as he got closer. The handshake was incredibly forceful. And his hands were as big as bear paws. No, not just his hands. Standing in front of me, he looked even bigger than he did during the lecture. I'm pretty tall, but he was at least a head taller than me. Professor, Uh-oh. It was all so sudden I couldn't think of an introduction. Wait, did he just speak Japanese? Still, I don't approve of you making my assistant cry. Oh, no, this is...
No, Professor, it wasn't his fault. He had nothing to do with it.
Maho and I both denied it as much as we could. But I didn't know why Maho was crying, so I couldn't come up with any excuses. I just started to panic even more. So, basically,
Kurisu. I was talking with him about Kurisu, and I just started crying.
Kurisu? You're a friend of Kurisu's? Yes.
This is Okabe Rintaro.
She's slowly slipping into a marmite. I need to stop that.
This is Okabe Rintaro. He's a student.
A little more formal, I think. Maho introduced me. I don't like that noise he's making. Dr. Leskinen had a gentle expression on his face as he gave me a slow hug. Okay, back the fuck up, please. I felt like I was going to suffocate in his massive arms. Somehow I could tell that this was his way of remembering Kurisu. I see. If that's the case, then Maho.
Yes?
Why not introduce her to Mr. Okabe?
You can't mean Amadeus.
It was good luck that brought him here to us, right? While we're in Japan, you can have him be a tester. I don't know what voice to give Leskinen. I'm struggling between, like, Majestic and, like, also the voice I used for Kiraya, but that doesn't seem to suit because he's way more formal than that.
Are you serious? You can't just let an outsider.
If he's a friend of Kurisu's, he's no outsider, correct?
But, sir...
What were they talking about? I had no idea. But this was my chance to build a relationship with Dr. Leskinen. I didn't want to blow it. I'd love to help. Nice! Nice! He patted me on the shoulders and smiled. It was an innocent smile, like a child's. I feel like I'm being played. Okay, then ask Maho for the details. And thanks. Another scientist was calling him, so he wandered away. Maho was shaking her head in disbelief. What was he talking about? Meeting Amadeus? Being a tester?
The demonstration of Amadeus we did during the convention used my memories, but... Amadeus also had another researcher's memory saved as data.
Aww, it's Kurisu, isn't it? It's fucking Kurisu. And she's not gonna know who I am! Another researcher's memories? What does that mean? When I finally figured it out from Dr. Leskinen and Maho's conversation, my heart started pounding. You can't mean... Her?
Yeah. Makase Kurisu's memories are stored in Amadeus. They're 8 months old, though.
Several days passed after the ATF party. 10 minutes from Ikebukuro via the express train. And then 10 minutes by bus from a station called Wako City in Saitama. The office I was looking for was on the second floor of a building right next to Riken. Riken? I don't know. Global Brain Science Comprehensive Research Organization. Japanese office prep room. That was what the plate on the door said. To get in, you need 3 types of special keys, plus a security card. What is this place?
The plan is for brain scientists from all over around the world to work together to make a new organization. Our lab is leading the way.
She led me inside. The office must have been newly rented. Most of the desks were still empty, showing no signs of ever been used. Excuse me? Jesus Christ, you're still here! Christ.
The mysterious Suketos have at last arrived in Akihabara,
Yes, this one.
This is one of the hidden doors of Akihabara that leads to the truth, nya! If you know naught of it, then very well, nya! It saddens me that we cannot journey together, but if my sacrifice shall put an end to this, then I will go through the door with gladness, nya!
I'm glad to see Faris is still Chunibyo. At least I still get to be slightly mad. There wasn't even a whiteboard, which made the room look even more empty. There wasn't a lot of natural light. Maybe the windows were on the north side? The only illumination was from the overhead fluorescent lights. The room felt very cold.
This is just the prep room.
No one was sitting at any of the desks, but the two of them had stuff on them. One of them was a mess filled with notes, calculators, coffee cups, and supplement bottles. That was the one Maho sat down at. Which meant that the one neatly organized must belong to Dr. Leskinen, right? Where's the professor?
Off today?
Well, it was Sunday. Are you off today too?
Yeah. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to sleep past noon.
That's true. When I gone to pick her up from her hotel in Wako City, she'd come out of her room half asleep. This was the day I was to meet Amadeus Kurisu. Maho had gone over the basics of being a tester on the way here. Essentially, Amadeus needed a sample data for conversations, and they were going to give me an environment where I could talk to it at any time, 24 hours a day. She didn't give me any details beyond that, though. So I'll be able to talk to Amadeus Kurisu 24 hours a day, huh? Is Kurisu's Amadeus here?
Yeah.
Maho nodded and gave me a glance.
You just said she, didn't you?
Huh? Yeah.
You two were a lot closer than I thought, weren't you?
Maybe my silence was an answer in itself. Maho's response was uncharacteristically hesitant. Oh, hi, Lukako.
Kobe? May I have a moment of your time?
Not today. I'm meeting someone right now. Is it important? I'm currently meeting someone at the moment, Lukako.
A girl?
Huh? Why?
Oh, I just got the feeling somehow.
But he's a guy.
Oh, I see.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Okay, I'm no expert. The fuck just happened?
And maybe you shouldn't meet her after all.
Why?
The more... the closer you are to someone, the crueler that system is.
I'm okay.
Fine, I won't bring it up again. But just remember one thing. These memories are from March, the last time Kurisu did an update. So anything you say about what happened after March, for example, when she was in Japan, she won't remember at all.
That's right, isn't it?
The professor and I have run her program lots of times between March and today. Each time Kurisu, no, I mean the Amadeus Kurisu, has created memories the original never had. Stories we've told her, information she's found on the internet, news people she's talked to, things like that. In other words, what you're about to meet isn't the Makase Kurisu, your friend. It's one of the problems with the system. It causes a lot of confusion with people on this side. I mean us humans. Because you'll think you're talking to the real Kurisu.
So don't get reality and fantasy mixed up, I guess.
Our brains have trouble keeping with the facts that our memories aren't shared with them.
Memories that aren't shared. Now there's a feeling I know well. Reading Steiner. It was a power only I possessed, which made my memories different than those of the people around me. Take me to her. Maho gave me a slight nod.
This way.
She She led me to the back of the room. There was a booth, separated by a thick partition. To get inside the booth, you needed a different key card than the one used to get into the room, as well as a security code. You're pretty strict about security.
Industrial spies are our biggest threat these days.
She entered the security code and unlocked the door.
Go inside.
The room was about 2.5 meters per side. At one end was a white desk, and above it was a PC with a built-in 30-inch screen monitor.
Sit just behind me.
There was a small sofa that let you sit behind the user and see what was happening on the screen. I sat there. Maho powered on the PC and began to type. A second later, the words Amadeus system appeared on the screen. I saw her put the ID in. Salieri. Salieri? Salieri and Amadeus, huh? Was there some meaning to that? Come to think of it, in the famous movie Amadeus, there was a character who was just spiteful and jealous of Mozart's incredible talents, but who, in the bottom of his heart, admired him more than anyone else. That character's name was Salieri.
Don't look at the password.
Maho moved her body to hide her hands. I looked away. She finished logging into the system, and a simple bare command prompt appeared on screen.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Do it. Maho entered several commands at the prompt.
Sorry, I can't show you this.
Well, I wouldn't be able to make sense of it.
Still, you know how it is.
She turned off the monitor. And she spun around to face me. I suddenly realized I was clenching my fists. How long had I been doing that? My hands were sweaty, and there was a red spot at the base of my thumb where my nails had dug in. Was I more nervous than I realized?
What is it?
Oh, just... I'm starting to get a little scared.
There's still time. You can just leave now.
You're pretty mean.
Really? I'm worried about you.
And act like it. Seriously, you Kurisu, you lap girls. For a second, the old joking me was about to come back. I quickly changed the subject. People who spend all their time doing experiments can just be so rude.
That's a clear case of slander. I can sue you for defamation if I want.
Stop. You're scaring me.
I know a good lawyer. Want me to introduce you?
How about you stop suing me first?
If you want to talk about a settlement, you're going to need a lot of cash.
I'll let you buy Dr. P later.
You're so cheap.
I heard a small sound from the back of her throat. I guess she was laughing. Normally I'd find that irritating, but strangely coming from the girl in front of me. Nope, she was a grown woman actually. I didn't. Maho Hyojo was a very strong world with the prickliness and short temper unique to scientists. She always seemed to be a little upset about something. But maybe she wasn't that bad. Oh, I see. She, Maho. She's a lot like Kurisu. When I first met Kurisu, she was like that. Arrogant, rude, never willing to change her mind, stubborn, hard-headed, and always ready to confront you with raised eyebrows whenever you said something she didn't like. I truly thought I'd never see a more unlikable woman. But despite my first impression, on the inside she turned out to be a fragile, easily hurt, and so kind and so lovable.
何がおかしいんです
What's so funny, Maho? I suddenly hear a girl's voice from the speaker. I found myself jumping off the sofa. I knew this voice. I couldn't forget it. I could never. Maho turned on the monitor. The girl I'd never forgotten appeared on the screen. Maybe it was based on her appearance back at the brain science lab. I keep reading it as Brawn because of the fucking last game. I keep reading it as Brawn Science. Because she was wearing a white lab coat. The PC's camera turned toward me on its own.
先輩 そちらの
Who is this? Maho was introducing me, but I didn't hear anything she was saying. I simply stared, entranced. I wanted to reach out my hands. I wanted to touch her. She was right there.
岡部倫太郎さん
Nice to meet you, Okabe
はじめま
Rintaro.
して
I'm Makase Kurisu.
どうぞよろしく
I look forward to working with you. Ah, we're about to get copyright claimed, boys. Let's fucking go. That ain't good. Ah, yes, I remember all of these well. Okabe Rintaro. Shina Mayuri, Hashida Ritaru. Faris Nan. Oh, why? Lukako looking good, though. Thank God. Still a guy, though, but. That's a lot of Amame. I don't know that one yet. Oh God, Psychopath's back. Mama Yuki? Okay, say what you want. This opening's way better than the Steins Gate one. I don't know why. This one just this one just seems way more stylized. Missing link. Closed epigraph.
Alright,
Mr. Okabe. Try to relax. My voice is a bridge, guiding you down into the past. You're going down and down and down. And then you see a gentle colored light. I was dreaming. Daydreaming. I was aware that I was lying on a big sofa undergoing counseling. I tried my best to stay calm and imagine what the psychologist was telling me. What color is the light? Red. Red. Oh, I see. The person you care about is standing in the light. Are they your family? No. And your friend? Or perhaps lover? Lover. No. Not my lover. Not even my friend. Then what are they? She and I are... Memories came flooding back into my mind like a geyser. Can you come with me for a moment? Oh. Sheena Mayuri is not needed. Tell me. I know you used the time leap machine. Save Mayuri. Go to the Beta World land. The world where Mayuri doesn't die. Not just for your sake, but for mine as well. Will you remember me? Am I going to die? I don't want to die. Mr. Okabe! I killed her. It was me! It was me! Listen to me. I'm going to pat you on the shoulders. When I do, you will be fully awake. 3, 2, 1, now! There was a loud sound, and I felt an impact on my shoulders. Kurisu's suffering face disappeared instantly, and I could feel my consciousness awakening. I stood up off the sofa. I felt dizzy and almost fell over. Are you alright? Rest a minute. I'll bring you a towel right away. The psychologist left the room. I realized I was soaked in sweat. The air conditioner was working, so I couldn't tell it was from heat. It was the first time I tried hypnotherapy on a mental health clinic. My body felt strangely heavy. Damn, Akihabara looking nice these days. When I go outside, it was night. It was almost December, and the wind was cold. Oh, was it, Okarin? Wow, you look way prettier than you previously did, Mayuri. Sheena Mayuri asked me gently. Mayuri was a high school student, and my childhood friend. She'd come with me to counseling today. I told her I didn't need to, but she'd left school early to come. All I ever did was make her worry. Around 3 months ago, my one obsession had been saving her. To me, she'd always been someone I had to protect. And now, she was worried about me. It was only because of Mayuri's recommendation that I tried counseling. Sorry, who's texting me? Oh, I've got Amadeus on my phone now. Okay. Got a sec, Uncle Okarin? But I refuse, okay. Huh? I mean, the but I refuse Kurisu emoji is adorable. Sure, okay!
Listen, what do you think I should do about Mom and Dad?
What do you mean?
I just can't see them getting together like this.
Well, you're right.
Uncle Okarin, is there anything you can do?
You know there's nothing I can do to help with that.
You're right, yeah.
It kinda hurts that you just gave up so easily.
Doesn't seem like... This doesn't seem to be your kind of thing, Uncle.
Jealous? It's not that bad, they said. I told her a small lie to make her feel better. I feel like lying is a common thread that's going to be running throughout this game. Yeah, actually, they told me I'd suffered serious trauma. They stopped the hypnotherapy and they gave me a course of counseling and drugs. Now they waited to see the results. Basically, they decided there was nothing to do but treat my symptoms and wait for it to heal naturally. I couldn't tell if what Maho had shown me yesterday was having any effect. I underwent treatment without telling the psychologist about the time machine, all the world lines, or most of the things that had happened, so maybe there was no way for them to make a proper diagnosis. In any event, I decided not to think about it too much.
Nah, Mayuri.
Hey, Mayuri. You still haven't eaten, right? Wanna go get some food? I'll treat you.
Oh, can we go to Akihabara then?
I need more water before I try and do Mayuri's voice.
Luca and Ferris said they haven't seen you in forever, and they wanted to meet up.
Akihabara, huh? The clinic was in walking distance of my house. Akihabara was much further away. But even so, I couldn't turn down Mayuri's request. Man, it feels weird to be here again. Until the events of this summer, I'd gone there almost every day. In fact, I practically lived there. Lately, I only went 3 times a week, at the absolute most. And that was only to go shopping on the way home from school. We went out into the plaza in front of the station. Just like in Ikebukuro. Even though there was only a month until Christmas, there were barely any decorations. I was sure the whole place would be covered in them the minute it was December 1st. Eventually, I was sure to see maids in Santa outfits. Maids in Santa outfits passing out flyers in Akihabara, huh? Akihabara could be really weird.
Oh, it's Ferris and Luca!
Damn, Luca! I'll get to you, Catgirl, in a minute, but damn, Luca! You're looking fine. Yes, I have a thing for traps. Shut up. Apparently, it's genuine.
Yeah? Kyoma! Okabe-san! Mayuri!
Ferris and Luca must have been waiting. They ran over as soon as they saw us.
I missed you, Nya!
What? Ferris Nyan Nyan jumped to me without the slightest hesitation. She was a maid, and Ferris wasn't her real name. I knew her real name, but if I didn't call her Ferris, but even if I didn't call her Ferris all the time, even when she was working, she'd get mad at me. She was wearing the same outfit she always wore. Her work clothes for her job at the maid cafe. May Queen Nyan Nyan. Was May Queen gonna switch to Santa outfits soon? Stop it! Everyone's looking at us. I tried to pull Ferris off me, but it wasn't working. Maybe I should just steal the cat ears off her head.
Who cares, Nya? All that matters right meow is Ferris and Kyoma.
I care. And stop calling me Kyoma! They dropped the U out of that.
Nya? Why?
I've consigned that name to my dark past.
Nya.
Ferris looked upset, but I decided to ignore her. Hyoin Kyoma was a part of my past I'd sealed away. I decided to pretend he never existed. He had meddled with a forbidden invention called the time machine, and as a result, the systems that ruled the world had punished him. He dashed the hopes of many, lost the life of someone he cared for, and his heart had suffered grievous wounds. He must never be awakened again. I didn't need him anymore.
And what should I call you, Nya?
Well, Okabe or something.
I think Okarin's a cute name, don't you, Ferris?
By the way, Ferris is what Mayuri calls Ferris. She claims it was easier to pronounce, or something like that.
Well, if you say so, Mayushi. Still doesn't sound right, though.
She looks unsatisfied, but she backs away. Lukako, it's been a while. Yes. Oh my god, you're too precious! You've crossed the boundary. I didn't think you could get any more precious, and then they gave you more cute poses. Stop it! Lukako smiled happily. He always looked as beautiful as a pretty girl. But he's a guy. He was a classmate of Mayuri's and could often be seen helping at Yanabayashi Shrine where his family lived. I probably shouldn't call him Lukako. Just like I told Faris not to call me Kyoma. He had his own name. Luka Urishibara. But calling Lukako Luka after all this time, that'd be really embarrassing.
Feels like a very long time. Sometimes got a lab, but you haven't been there much, have you?
No, I haven't. I've been busy with school. I had to get ready for ATF too. Even after all that was done, I've been busy with Maho and Dr. Leskinen, and then Amadeus. I hadn't had a chance to rest. But I avoided mentioning that to them. Oh, and I'm in a club now.
You joined a club? What kind of club, Nya? UFOs? UMAs?
Who do you guys think I am? I guess I hadn't told them then. Mayuri... I'm pretty sure I told her. As the two of them looked at me with wide eyes, I cracked a knowing smile and puffed down my chest. The tennis club. Yeah, that's what I assumed. Not tennis, but that's the reaction I assumed. The people around us all turned to stare at Faris and Luka.
Why the tennis club, Nya? Okabe, have you ever played tennis?
Of course not! I may not look it, but I'm terrible at sports. I'm confident I'd lose to Mayuri at distance running.
And why meow?
Well, it's a long story, but... The associate professor who's a teacher at my school is in the tennis club's advisor. And then he asked me to join.
That's not long at all, Nya!
But I'm not done yet. The teacher's done a lot for me, so I decided to stop by.
And?
It turns out I have a talent for tennis. Despite the fact that I'm a beginner, I beat every single one of them. Well, amazing, huh? Oh my god, don't tell me they missed my crazy self.
You are amazing, Okabe.
Oh, yes, please fanboy over me more, Luka. If I had known, I would have been a pro tennis player.
You could win Wimbledon!
Faris, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I've stopped being tuney. What's wrong, Faris? You have a headache?
I'm not even sure where to begin. It's the most obvious ploy to get new members I've ever heard, yeah?
Don't say that. I kind of noticed, but I'm trying to avoid thinking about it. It's really weird seeing Okabe act like a normal person. I don't like it. But they're all really good people.
Is he practicing good club then?
Oh, no. Actually, I barely go.
Huh? What are you... And just what are you doing?
Matchmaking parties and stuff. Will you both calm down? A shouts fill the whole street, and once again, people turn around and stare. It's not that surprising, is it? I'm a normal college kid.
That's true. I'm sorry. But...
Lukako was fidgeting like he wanted to say something.
How can you go after another woman when you got your beautiful Faris? It's unforgivable, Nya!
Don't get the wrong idea, okay? I'm not really interested in girls. In fact, I went along with the rest of the club, but there wasn't really any place for a wannabe normal like myself. There was no way I could keep up with the conversations that were, well, normal normies had. When I had other men and women were having fun, I would just kind of sit there. Oh, that's too fucking real. Please stop. A matchmaking party was a challenge far beyond my capabilities. You know, I'm starting to realize there's a reason I joined a couple of weird societies when I went to university. Ended up shadow leading one of them, but fuck it. I wasn't going to tell Faris and Luca that, though.
Oh, that's so nice. Mayushi wants to go on a matchmaking party with Okarin too.
Nani?
What? Mayuri wanted to do what? Is she old enough to be interested in that sort of thing?
That's when everyone gets together and has a fun party, right?
Evidently not. She's too innocent. I don't know what happened to Faris's voice there.
Well, it's not wrong, but the nuance is a little different, yeah. We can hold it at the lab. Of course, Luca and Faris could come. Oh, and Daru and Nai and Suzu. Oh.
Aya turned to me with a guilty look. Suzu, huh? Amame Suzuha, also known as John Taita, a time traveler from the year 2036. A true warrior who was still fighting as I was trying my best to give up. I'd barely seen her since summer, and I was avoiding her. Part of the reason I'd stopped going to the lab was that she would spend all her time there now. Until a month or so ago, I just heard Suzuha's name was enough to cause flashbacks, and it was all I could do to endure them. After 3 months, I could finally stand to hear her name. I didn't think I could keep it together if I met her in person. Of course, it wasn't her fault, and I wasn't blaming her, so I didn't want her to blame me. She'd never come out and say it, but when she looked at me with that razor-sharp glint in her eyes, I felt something like guilt.
Everyone?
Huh?
Hmm?
Mayushi's been planning an operation with Daru. An operation?
It sounded like something the old me would have done.
Yeah? Kind of operation, yeah? Operation Make Suzu Smile!
Huh? Why was Mayuri talking about this out of the blue? No, maybe it wasn't out of the blue. She might have been thinking about it for a long time. So I decided to respond as cheerfully as I could.
聞かせてくれよ。
Tell me about it, Mayuri.
Oh. Okay. So Mayushi thinks that Suzu's normally kind of scary, but she's actually a really nice person. Sometimes when I'm at the lab, I'll start to fall asleep on the sofa, and when I wake up, there'll be a blanket over me. When I asked Suzu about it, she says she has no idea, but... I had a similar experience. My dad once asked me to go shopping for him, and I was having trouble on the way back because I had to carry so much. And then a mommy came by, and without saying anything, she took some of the bags from me and carried them.
Huh. I had no idea.
She said that it wasn't a big deal, so I shouldn't tell anybody. I guess I just did.
そっか。
I see. In the Alpha World line, she was a cheerful girl who smiled at everyone and who loved to go mountain biking. But in this world line, she wasn't the type who smiled a lot. This was partially due to the way she'd grown up. I'd heard about it third hand from Daru, but because of the universal conscription program that started after World War III broke out, She'd been forced to undergo military training ever since she was in middle school. After that, she joined up with the anti-government forces and got caught in a terrible struggle. After that, he said, she never really smiled.
だからね、
So what would make Suzu really
本
smile?
当の笑顔にしたいのです。
なるほどな。
I see.
で、具体的に
So
は
what's your plan, yeah?
うん、
A Christmas
パ
party!
ーティーだよ。クリスマス
パーティー。
We all spoke in unison.
もうすぐクリス
It's
マス
almost
でしょ。
Christmas, right?
すずさんね。
You can tell, like, I've not had enough water. My voice keeps cutting out when I'm trying to do these Mayuri lines.
It's almost Christmas, right? And Suzu says she's never been to a Christmas party.
だからまゆし
So
は
Mayushi wants
す
to
ず
give
さ
her
ん
one
に
as
そ
a
れをプ
present.
レゼントしようと思ってるんだ。
Faris and Nuka? Faris and Luca nodded almost at the exact same time.
その話。
I'm in, yeah?
僕も。
Me too.
ありがと
Thanks.
う。オカリンも
Okay,
参加してくれる？
will you come too?
Huh?
そ
Well,
そうだな。
ダメかな。
You don't want to?
俺はともかく
it's not that. I just...
鈴葉が嫌がるんじゃ
I
ない。
don't think Suzuha would want me there. Do you? I was never going back to the past. I still couldn't forget the look on Suzuha's face when I told her that. It was an expression filled with anger and despair. She must have felt like her last, most desperate hope was crumbling away right in front of her eyes. The words she'd said to me then were still as sharp as thorns lodged in my heart.
鈴葉は
Suzuha doesn't
俺を
like
嫌っ
me,
て
you
る
know.
し。
まゆしは
Mayushi doesn't
そう
think
は
so.
思わないよ。すずさんはね。
I think she probably regrets the fact that she got mad at you.
その気持ちを
I think she
素
just
直
can't
に
say
言えない
it.
んだと思うのです。
そうだろうか。
Really?
Yeah,
きっとそう
I'm
だ
sure
よ
of。it.
I couldn't turn her down after Mayuri said that.
わかった。少し考えてみる
Fine,
よ。
I'll think about it.
Okay.
ところで、
By the way,
岡部さん、
okay.
There was a bit of hesitation in Luca's voice.
診察はどうでしたか？
How did the doctor's appointment go?
Evidently, Luca had heard about my counseling from Mayuri. Maybe he wanted to see me because he was worried about how it went. I guess I'm making Luca and Faris worry too. In this world line, they hadn't joined the lab, but even so, they were still dear friends.
催眠療法というのは初
I
体
never
験
tried hypnotherapy before.
なかなか
It
興
was
味深かったな
interesting.
俺は
I never thought it would work on me,
かからないと
so
思ってた
that was a big surprise.
驚いた。
かかっちゃったんですか？
Worked?
見事にな。
Perfectly.
そういうルカニャンも
I bet Luke and Yam wouldn't last a
あ
second.
りそうだにゃん。そんな。
Oh, come on.
確かに
Yeah, I'm sure.
速攻でやられるだろうな。
Luca would believe anything you told him. Anyway, there was no point in standing around forever. I was getting hungry, and it was about time to find some place to eat.
なあ、お前
Hey,
たち何
hey
が
guys,
食べたい
where do you want to eat?
おごるぞ。
My treat. We decided to head to Yodobashi. There are a lot of restaurants there, so it was perfect.
やったにゃん。
Way to go, Kyoma! I mean, Okarin! You're the best, nya!
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
何食べようか
What should I eat? Maybe fried chicken?
Oh, you and your goddamn juicy chicken.
な。ジューシー唐揚げ？
Juicy fried chicken?
There we go.
まゆしはそれ
That's all Mayushi ever eats, nya!
I walked behind the three of them. And I thought to myself, what would it be like if Kurisu were here? I tried my hardest for the past few months not to think about her, but was it because of my experience yesterday that I did anyway? The expressions and little mannerisms I'd seen yesterday. The voice, the way she walked. I remembered my conversation with her.
岡部倫太郎さん。
Hello, Akabe
はじ
Rentaro.
めまして。
I'm Makase
Makase Kurisu
Kurisu.
どうぞよろしく。
Nice to meet you.